Hello, and you're all very welcome along to the latest Champ.ie podcast, Ireland's premier horse racing podcast in association with Boylesports, Gowran Park Racecourse, EJ Menswear and Shamrock Thoroughbreds.
As they race up the hill towards the finish, Hart the Herald here on Fairyhouse has absolutely bolted up under Paul Town, and Fairyhouse won by wide margin. On the final 150 yards, it's Irish point for Marine National, who's coming with every stride. They're going to the line. Irish point, Marine National on the near side.
If you haven't already, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Champ.ie YouTube channel, as it helps to get horse racing content out there to the wider audience. We look forward to reading all your hashtag 5cast selections in the comments section below. Enjoy the show.
Boylesports. Don't just bet, choose wisely.
Hello, and you're all very welcome along to episode 37 of Champ.ie, which of course is the Boylesports Irish Grand National preview show, and we have a super show lined up for you. Don't forget as well, this weekend at Boylesports, of course, there will be 6 places on the Irish Grand National on Easter Monday, and of course for Boyle Extra card holders on selected races over the weekend, money back if second and third to the SB favourite, and of course over the 3 days at Fairyhouse, if you're betting with Boylesports, it'll be money back in the way of a free bet if second to the SB favourite. We are going to be doing a countdown of the top 6 horses that Barry really likes for this year's Irish Grand National at Fairyhouse. But before we get into that, we've got a very special guest on the show this week, Rebecca Curtis. And here's what she's a little teaser for her interview later in the show.
Boylesports. Don't just bet, choose wisely.
He does seem to be just so progressive, improving with each run. And if he can go on that upward curve and keep improving, then yeah, why not?
Well, Barry, welcome along. Great to have you back once again as we head into the Easter week. And of course, not alone have we got this Boylesports Irish Grand National show, but we've got 3 podcasts to get through this week, because we'll be looking forward, of course, to the big day on Monday. And of course, we've a podcast previewing some really good action on Sunday as well this week on Champ.ie.
Yeah, certainly, David. Looking forward to hearing from more guests on the shows, building up to the course of Boylesports Irish Grand National. But this is just a shortlist video. We're going to start with number 6, Boylesports 6 places, of course, in the National, and we're going to give our top 6 picks for starting with number 6 all the way to who we think is going to win the National. Great to catch up with Rebecca Curtis, as you mentioned. And for the viewers looking to get involved, of course, big congratulations to Mark Lewis once again from Kildare, who's heading to the Boylesports Irish Grand National VIP, courtesy of our Road to Cheltenham Show challenge. And of course, Chris Neville as well. You haven't claimed your tickets as of yet, but get in touch and you will be heading to the Boylesports Irish Grand National as well. But to get involved for last minute tickets to the National on Monday, Dave, all you have to do down below in the comment section, and the participation, by the way, right throughout the entire season, episode number 37, of course, at the moment. But all you have to do to get involved for last minute tickets is let us know your Grand National, not 6, but TriCast down below, 1, 2 and 3. And maybe tell us why as well in the comment section below to get involved, and we will pick out a winner on the eve of the Boylesports Irish Grand National. But really looking forward to it, and it was great to catch up with Rebecca Curtis, big follower of the stable, Dave. 60% strike rate at the moment, Rebecca Curtis. That's in the last 2 weeks. She's runners today as we're recording, but 6 runners heading to Fairyhouse, and she was recommended a stake in the stone there in the Shebean in Dunshaughlin as well. I'm sure County Meath will be rocking if the favourite wins the National.
Yes, well, it certainly will. Well, we're going to kick off with our first 3 horses before we'll hear from Rebecca Curtis, and we're working back from 6 down to number 1. This week, we start off with Dunboyne. Last time he ran in the National, of course, trained by Gordon Elliott, trained by Ian Patrick Donoghue now, and he's on a hat-trick bid as well, Dunboyne, heading into the National on Monday, Barry.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. Look, I think it's hard to rule him out, because last season obviously didn't go to plan for Dunboyne, but he's on the crest of a wave. He's 33-1 at the moment, and I've had him fill number 6 in the National, and I think he'll get into the mix here, because look, he's in really decent form, as mentioned, 2 from 2 for Ian Donoghue, local stable obviously, and he hasn't had too much racing this season since transferring to Ian Donoghue, and I suppose he's proven over 3 Mile 5. He won the Ulster National. I thought quite cosy in the end, got to the front and seemed to idle a little bit, and you know, when James Smith has asked him to pick up once again, he's gone and won, I thought, nicely, and the front 2 have pulled a nice bit clear of the third as well. How hard a race did he have? That's the big question. But I mean, this horse, he's reasonably lightly raced as well, Dave Dunboyne. I mean, he's only had the 24 starts in his entire career. I thought when I was going to check out his profile that he would, this son of Yates would have had a lot more racing. He was second at Thyestes on soft ground. Just an update on the weather. As we're recording, Dave, we've had 25 millimetres of rain in the last 48 hours. That's what Peter Rowe just posted this morning on the Fairyhouse page on Twitter. And we're due another 35 mil before racing starts on Saturday, and scattered showers then Sunday and into Monday as well. So the ground will certainly be on the softer side. This horse was second in the Goffs Thyestes Chase back in 2003. That was off 133 an official rating of 133. I think he could still be well handicapped off his current mark. He was second in a Tri-Town, so he's big handicap experience coming into the Boylesports Irish Grand National. Disappointed in the race last year, but for me, I think he has to be on the short list of 6. He's on a hat-trick bid for a local stable. And I thought there was lots to like with Dunboyne, and I'm sure with a name like that, Dave, he'll be popular with the County Meath punters.
Absolutely right. We look at number 5. She could be anything. It's been a while since we've had a mare, Barry, winning the Irish Grand National, and you don't think that She Could Be Anything will be out of it on Monday?
I don't. I think it's a big call from Gordon Elliott. And just to mention on Gordon Elliott, because we did say the stable form heading into Aintree was a worry, but it's not so much of a worry now heading into Fairyhouse. And I suppose the old 4, Woody Mullins and Close Sutton, only have 4 runners in the Boylesports Irish Grand National. Gordon Elliott, well, at the moment, so he's 11 entered, and She Could Be Anything. Big call, I think, to run this mare over the extended, 3 mile and 5 furlongs. And she's unexposed beyond 2.5 miles, Dave, this mare. So she really could be anything moving up, beyond 3 miles here. And, I suppose looking at her form, she was third against her own sex in the mare's chase, running on. She seemed to hit that flat spot. 3 out in the mare's chase. She was beaten, double figures in terms of lengths by Dino Blue, but a step up in trip is definitely going to help her, I think. Looking at her overall form, Dave, she's ultra consistent, this mare. 25 starts in her career. She's won 10 times and placed on 8 occasions. So she's rarely out of the money. I think she's only been out of the money on 1 occasion from her 8 starts over fences. She's won a grade 3 over fences, and 3 times this mare won in listed company over hurdles. So she's talented. I think she's rated 140 at the moment. I think she's unexposed moving up in trip. And Gordon Elliott mentioned 11 runners. I do like one as a stronger each way bet that we'll mention later on in the show, but 50-1 just seemed very, very big on She Could Be Anything. And she's bidding to become the first mare to win the race, Dave, since Liberty Council. So I wouldn't rule her out. Her form and her record is very, very strong, and she's unexposed beyond the 2.5 miles in truth, Dave, but when she goes beyond truth, I think she'll stay all day in truth.
Right, Barry, number 4 on the list then, as we count back from 6-1, is Kinturk Calanisi.
Tom Gibney. I mean, the way it's going at the moment, Dave, we might end up calling this race after Tom Gibney, because he's one of the best in the past. And this horse, again, 7-year-old's super record in the Boylesports Irish Grand National, and Kinturk Calanisi does have the right type of profile for Tom Gibney once again. A 7-year-old unexposed novice, but the ground turning soft, I think, is going to be in this horse's favour. He tipped up, I think, 2 out at Naas last time on his first run in handicap company, and he seemed to be going easy at the time and he unseated, he didn't fall, so he didn't take a hard knock or anything. Second run in a handicap, off his current rating. I mean, he's rated 135, Dave, now, which will get him, I think he's 28 on the listed runners at the moment. So he's guaranteed a run, and he's going to have a low weight. And I suppose look back to that form as well, where he finished ahead of the what's now the Scottish Grand National winner, Captain Cody at Navan. He's finished ahead of him, and he's only beaten 2 lengths, Dave, by, of course, Three-Car Bragg, who's rated 147. And this horse is obviously rated 135, and he's only beaten 2 lengths. So he's well handicapped. No doubt he's been laid out for the race. Tom Gibney bidden to win it 3 times. For the 3rd time, should I say, with this Kinturk Calanisi, and won the race last year, of course, with intense raffles. The ground turning soft is a positive. And the only worry, I suppose, for me would be there is novices in here that have had more runs and that are more battle-hardened in handicap company. He wouldn't tick that box, but he's definitely unexposed. Another unexposed 7-year-old down the bottom of the weights. He has to be in the mix, Dave, I think, with a clean round here. And I've had him to fill spot number 4 in the Boylesports Irish Grand National.
Lovely. Well, we're going to be looking and counting down to 3, 2, and 1 on Barry's list for Monday's Boylesports Irish Grand National. But it's now time for us to head in to our first ad break, and we'll also hear right after this our very special guest this week, Rebecca Curtis.
Yes, so hello, Barry Doyle from the Champ.ie podcast, Ireland's Pulling Horse Racing podcast. I'm here with my co-host, David Byrnes, and we're here in Sligo Town, David, in EJ Menswear, and EJMenswear.com. Fantastic season ahead. EJ has kindly partnered up with us to be the men's fashion partner with Champ.ie for the season. And David, we're suited and booted. You're looking sharp.
Yeah, well, thanks very much. And this fantastic bundle and this outfit we're wearing is costing $2.99. It sets you up beautifully for the racing season ahead, which includes Leopardstown at Christmas, Thyestes Day at Gowran Park, and of course, if you want to go even bigger, you can get togged out for the Cheltenham and Entry festivals later on in the season.
Absolutely, and of course, check out the Champ.ie podcast right throughout the season, Mondays and Thursdays, and look at the offer, the tailored bundle for the racing season, $2.99, blazer, shirt, chino, socks and shoes. What's not to like, lads? Check out EJMenswear.com. Yeah, well, season 6, episode number 36 of the Champ.ie podcast, and delighted to welcome to the Champ.ie podcast 6-time Cheltenham Festival winning trainer, Rebecca Curtis. Big weekend, 6 in at Fairyhouse, Rebecca, and you must be on a real high after Haiti Couleurs at Cheltenham.
Yeah, no, that was a brilliant day for us. Obviously, having another winner there, and well, especially him. He's got such a great bunch of owners. I was absolutely delighted to get a winner for them.
6 entered. I want to start, I suppose, about your setting in Wales, of course. Is there anywhere more picturesque to train racehorses? What do you think makes where you train just outside Fishguard in Wales? What makes it unique, Rebecca?
Yeah, in fairness, we have got a lovely setting on a nice, well, sort of combined with one part's my dad's dairy farm, and then the other side is obviously the training side. I guess we're sort of set on a cliff. You know, you don't get many gallops, I suppose. You've got a really nice sea view. I think the sea air's probably quite beneficial for the horses. Nice, clean, fresh air. I know we're a little bit further away than some tracks, but I think wherever you train, there's obviously plenty of travelling, and it's never seemed to have affected the horses. So very happy with where we are.
Not too far away from Fishguard, of course, and you have a big team at the Fairyhouse. 60% strike rate in the last 2 weeks, so the stable's in really good form, Rebecca, and over 20 winners this season once again. But just speaking off air, I mean, it's very much your focus is, quality as opposed to quantity, and getting, some bigger owners into the yard is a real focus for you in the next 12 months.
Yeah, definitely. I've never, had the sort of ambition to have 50, 100 horses. I like to have a small team that you can, give individual attention to. I'm very hands-on myself. But yeah, just to get some more quality type horses would be amazing for me, and get a couple bigger owners in if we could, and buy a nicer type horse. But a lot, everyone's in that boat, aren't they? We all want, bigger, better horses. But yeah, hopefully it'll come one day.
Well, speaking about quality, I mean, look, the Cheltenham winners in the past, T for Tree of Whelan's Boy was actually at Cheltenham when he won the RSA at Fisher's Cross. Now Haiti Couleurs. Talk us through the big day, obviously the National Hunt Chase. I mean, he was given a fantastic ride by Ben Jones, and the owners as well. They've been really big supporters of the yard for you.
Yeah, the owners have been absolutely amazing. One of them, James Conyers, he's been with me many years now. He used to have a share in, don't know if you remember T for Three. That's going back a good few years now. But he's been with me ever since then. Absolutely amazing. Simon Prouting, fairly newish in the yard. I guess he's been with me the last 5 years, but again, been brilliant. Invested in, plenty of new horses. And then Dave McDermott, who's been, an absolute, diamond to me. So it's just nice to have a winner for them type of people,
Absolutely, and I suppose Haiti Couleurs, I mean, he's had 10 racecourse starts now, so he's a really likely raced 8-year-old. Second in a point-to-point for Harley Dunn, 3 from 4 over fences. What do you think, Rebecca, are his biggest attributes or biggest strengths?
I think his jumping and his stamina would be his biggest strengths. And also, yeah, he's got very high cruising speed as well, which helps him. But I don't know, he just got this style, isn't he? Where he just gallops and gallops and jumps so fast. He, almost makes horses struggle behind him sometimes.
What's he like at home? Like, what's his temperament like? I suppose off the racecourse.
He's a very sensitive horse. Wouldn't take a lot to upset him. He has to have everything right for him every day. If a horse next to him leaves the stable, he's almost got a bit of separation anxiety. He'll let you know when something's wrong with him. If he's not quite right, he'll turn his bum to the door and not eat his dinner. He's not, I wouldn't call him a highly strung horse, but he's definitely a sensitive horse, I'd say.
How fresh is he now heading to Fairyhouse? How's he come out of Cheltenham? Are you happy with how preparation has gone?
Yeah, really good. He had a nice sort of couple of quiet weeks after Cheltenham, and then the last month he's been in full swing. And yeah, I don't think we've had him better, to be honest. Really happy with where he is.
Would the rain be a concern? Like, do you think is he as effective on soft ground?
I think so. Do you know, it's funny, beginning of the season, his first run in, where was it, Chepstow, I nearly pulled him out that day because I thought he was a proper soft, heavy ground horse, from the season before. So we nearly pulled him out, and we took our chance and ran him that day in Chepstow, and Bensley absolutely loved the ground, bounced off it. So I do think he's really versatile, and I think a bit of soft won't harm him. If anything, it might play to his strengths because he's, got so much stamina.
You mentioned his strengths, and obviously the National Hunt Chase. I'm sure you're dreaming with this horse, Rebecca, but do you think he can maybe, take the Native River route? Do you think he could maybe possibly shape up into a Gold Cup contender? Do you think he's that type of horse for next year?
Possibly. I mean, you'd love to dream of races like that. The only thing I will say with him, he does seem to be just so progressive, improving with each run. And if he can go on that upward curve and keep improving, then yeah, why not?
Just speaking to you off air, obviously we'll come to the rest of the team in a moment, but this is your first time to Fairyhouse. You've been to Punchestown. Have had great success, by the way, in Punchestown in the past. Irish Cavalier won there, of course, Mystical Night at the Punchestown Festival in the past. Fairyhouse, you've 6 in. What do you most love about the Irish racing experience, Rebecca? What do you like most about it?
I just love I think they're so friendly and so welcoming, and just such just such a nice atmosphere there. I think it's I don't know, what does my owner say, Dave McDermott? You can smell the turf there in Ireland. It's just a totally different, yeah.
Dave McDermott, that sounds an Irish name. Is he Irish based, or does he just like a trip here?
His dad was Irish, I think, but he just loves coming to Ireland. And then James Conyers, another owner, his wife is Irish, and I think he's got a house in Donegal, I think, in Ireland. So I don't know. It's always the Irish coming over here beating us, isn't it? And it's just probably quite nice to go over there and give it a go ourselves against them as well.
Absolutely. Well, the Sheebeen is a good spot for a bit of grub in Dunshaughlin, and I was just saying to you as well at the old stand in Ratoads, you have, of course, swans as well. I'm sure there'll be a big party if Haughty Couleurs can get the job done on Easter Monday. Talk us through the rest of the team. 6 entered, as I mentioned, at Fairyhouse. What else have we got?
So on Saturday we got the Bula Boss.
He's progressive.
Yeah, he's been really, really good this season. I don't know whether a bit of age has helped him or we changed a few little things with his training, but yeah, he's won his last 2 well. I think the track will really suit. He's a brilliant jumper, big old galloper, and a big asset. We've obviously got Jodie Townend to ride him. Who else have we got Saturday? Andy Ammo. He's won his last 2 as well. I think he could potentially be on quite a nice mark for that race. Obviously a big step up from what he's done. But again, I think the track will really suit him. He stays well and big galloper. Sunday, we've got Ben Solo. He won well in Chepstow, and then he's had seconditis since. I think he's finished second his last 3 runs. But he should go well. Again, I think the track will suit. And what have we got on Monday? Ida Fix this year. She's He's sort of been mixing chasing and hurdling this season. He won a chase, won a hurdle. He ran very well in Cheltenham, was second in a nice handicap, quite a valuable race. Probably inconvenienced by the ground at Sandown. That was awful heavy ground. So I think back to a bit of nicer ground and a bit of a break. He should go well. It's just nice to bring him over. It's good prize money and it'll be his last race of the season. And then we have Pat's Fancy, who, looking at form, you'd say he's no chance, but actually he's had so much time off with injuries. We really fancied him for the National Hunt Chase. It was good to firm that day, going back a couple of years ago. So he picked up a tendon injury and ongoing problems since. So I think he's taken his 2 runs this season just to put him back in racing mode and fully fit. I think he slipped to a nice mark and I actually fancy him to go well on the Monday.
Well, that was my next question. Of the runners outside of Haiti Couleurs this weekend, which of the ones heading over are you most confident of a massive run? Would that be Pat's Fancy or is?
I think Pat's Fancy will go well. Yeah, I mean it was a massive ask last run. What did we run him in? The Kinmure for only his second runs for such a long time off. So he ran well for a long way, blew up a bit, probably on ground slightly too quick for him as well. So I think off his mark, what have they given him? 127 something. I mean, he was a 145 horse. I think the track will really suit him.
Super. You've mentioned a couple which are novice hurdlers heading to Fairyhouse this weekend. Which of the novice hurdlers this season are you most excited about heading over fences next year? Are there any Haiti Couleurs amongst them, do you think?
Definitely Ben Solo. I really, really like him. He's a very good jumper. I hope he'd make into a really nice novice chaser. I'm just trying to think who else and again Andy Ammo. He looks to be a really nice sort of staying chaser type. How he'll jump fences, I don't know. We haven't schooled him.
Boylesports. Don't just bet. Choose wisely.
Rebecca, wanted to ask you about goals for the next 12 months. If there was one goal for the year, what's the one thing you want to achieve in the next 12 months as a racehorse trainer in Wales?
Just to get a few more horses in, I guess, would be it'd be great if, one of the bigger owners would take a plunge and send me 1 or 2. Just a few more quality horses to go to war with would be great.
That'd be absolutely. I wanted to ask you about Dan Skelton versus Woody Mullins in the Trainers' Championship. What an achievement for Woody to win the UK Trainers' Championship last season, as well as winning the title back home in Ireland. Do you think it's good for racing? I suppose the battle that we're going to have in the next couple of weeks.
I think it's brilliant for racing. It's Willie set standard where everyone's. I know it's nearly impossible, but everyone's trying to reach. And it just is this, the big buzz of following the 2 of them now. And it is. There's pros and cons, isn't there? Whether I say it's good to racing. A lot of people, Willie Mullins wins everything. It's boring now. But to me, I think it's great.
Go on, call it. Who's going to win it? Who's going to win it this year?
Don't know. It could be either one, couldn't it? I don't know. Willie will probably pull something out of the bag when in Sandown and.
That's a good answer, Rebecca. You know you're on Ireland's premier horse racing podcast when you're tipping Willie Mullins to win the UK Trainers' Championship. But listen, I suppose the last question to ask you, really, heading into the weekend, wish you all the best with Haiti Couleurs and the team heading over. Hope you have a fantastic time. Hope you have a big result as well over the weekend. Dark horse maybe to follow heading in to the next 12 months. Maybe a horse going chasing, maybe a younger horse. What are you going to give us?
Trying to see what's Douglas Hyde, I think.
Why is that?
Douglas Hyde to go novice hurdling. He's been really unlucky. He won his point to point. When I say unlucky, it's not unlucky. He's finished second 3 times in bumpers now this year, possibly on horrible heavy ground. But I think he's going to be a really, really nice staying novice hurdler, especially with the summer's grass on his back.
Wish you all the best this weekend. Confident of a big run, Haiti Couleurs?
I hope so, yeah. Well, I can't do any more now. I know he's healthy, he's in good form. After that, we just need a bit of luck, and it's in the lap of the gods, I guess.
Stake on the stone, the she-bean, Rebecca. You heard it here first.
I'll give it a go.
Boyle Sports. Don't just bet. Choose wisely.
Savage, 4 in the race for Willie Mullins this year and 4 entered, and he's won it, of course, twice in the last 5 years. Chances of Savage, Barry?
This Savage, obviously, was on many people's shortlist heading to the Kim Muir, and comes in here, Dave. He ran an absolute cracker on the Kim Muir. I didn't think Patrick was overly hard on the horse in the Kim Muir, and £2 lower now, of course, racing off a nice racing weight in the national. The right type of profile as well. Looking at the overall form, Dave did beat the Scottish Grand National winner, Captain Cody, in the beginner's chase at Tipperary on softer ground back in November. And I know you like Tipperary form, David. The Cheltenham Prep run at Fairyhouse over the 3 miles. I thought done well to win and galloped all the way to the line over 3 miles. This horse is all about stamina. He's only had the 5 starts over fences, so has a little bit more experience than the horse that we previously mentioned, Calanisi, Kanturk Calanisi for Tom Gibney. With the 5 runs over fences, the proven form over 3 miles, the ground coming right as well for Sam Majest. Just looking, all 4 of his wins have come on softer ground. So the 35 mil of rain due is definitely going to be a positive. We mentioned Willie Mullins, obviously, just 4 runners left in the race. And David Casey is quoted saying that's a high-class hero. He believes he's Willie Mullins' best chance. I think this fella is the right profile for the same connections, of course. I Am Maximus won the race for JP and Willie Mullins, of course, 2 seasons ago. And I just thought he was very, very interesting. Really good run behind, I thought, 2 well-handicapped horses in the Kim Muir. And the form is working out well in the Kim Muir as well, Dave. We must mention that Man of the People finished 5th in the Kim Muir, 2 places behind Sam Majest. And that's come out and absolutely bolted up at Cheltenham at the April meeting. So Sam Majest, 25-1 each way. I don't see that lasting, Dave.
Fair enough, Barry. Right, we're on to number 2, and this is a horse by the name of Will Do, who is, of course, a battle-hardened novice even, but has low mileage on the clock, Barry.
Yeah, this horse is really, really interesting, and I have to say, look, Will Do for me is at the price is 25-1. He needs 5 to come out, but if the 5 come out, and the ground is changing, so he might just get in off bottom weight. And for me, he's the most interesting if he does at 25-1 at a big, big price. He looks really dangerous off 131. He will be practically bottom weight, I'd imagine, Dave. And I suppose the one thing about this horse, he's the right profile in that he's 8 years of age. Just looking at some of the stats there, 18 of the last 21 winners were aged 9-year-old or younger. So, this horse has the right type of profile in that he's running all the big handicaps this season. He's still a novice. Okay, he hasn't won over fences as of yet, but he ran a cracker in the Paddy Power, the Thyestes, the Grand National trial at Punchestown, and then obviously finished 3rd, who was a real eye catcher for me when finishing 3rd in the National Hunt Chase behind Haiti Couleurs, and he's £7 better off as well with the favourite in the National. So if he gets in off bottom weight, Gordon Elliott, we did mention, has 11 runners entered in the race. He's had 10 winners in the last 14 days, so stable, coming back into form. And Gigginstown, they like to win this race as well, Dave. They've won the race on 3 occasions in the last 8 renewals. And just look at the way this horse jumped the last in the National Hunt Chase. He's made for marathon trips, and I think he jumped it big and bold and absolutely ate the ground up off the back of the last. So I think he'll absolutely love this type of test. The ground coming soft is not going to be an issue as well. As I mentioned, he is battle hardened, and his 2 wins in his career have come on soft ground and yielding to soft. And I mean, he's everyday chaser, just £4 higher over fences than his hurdles mark. He has to be well handicapped, Dave, off 131, and he's the right profile.
He has the right profile. Well, I'm sure you're all waiting to hear what number 1 is. Well, number 1 is the horse that we have is trained by Rebecca Curtis in Wales, Haiti Couleurs, who, Barry, I know did you a nice turn at the Cheltenham Festival. How impressed were you firstly by Haiti Couleurs' performance there, and why is he fitting in at number 1 at the top of the Barry Doyle selections for the Boylesports Irish Grand National?
He is, David. Let's keep it simple. I know it's the national, 30 plus runners here, but for me, I think it's just he's the classiest horse in the race, off a nice racing weight, coming in decent form. He's everything you want in that he jumps, he travels really well in his races, and he stays very well. And he's a horse I could see genuinely, Dave, running very well in a Gold Cup next season. I'm not saying he's going to win a Gold Cup, but I could see him running well in a Gold Cup. And when you take it that the top weight in here is rated 154, Better Days Ahead, and this horse, obviously, Haiti Couleurs, has only been raised £6 and gets a stone off him. I mean, for me, Haiti Couleurs, if he was racing off level weights against Better Days Ahead, I actually would back Haiti Couleurs to beat him. So I think there's still a lot more, there's a lot more scope for improvement here. He's on a nice mark once again. He's had the 41-day break as well. You never really fully know, Dave, until you see it, how a horse is going to come out at Cheltenham. But I think the National Hunt Chase form, it was a handicap, don't forget, this season, for novices. And so he has that handicap, experience. He's 3 from 4 over fences. His jumping is a huge asset for him around Fairyhouse. And, we saw classy horses win the race in the past, the likes of Our Duke. This could be a similar story here. I think this favourite is the right favourite. And Rebecca Curtis, I mean, what can we say? What she does with a small team of runners, her strike rate this season, over 20%, and in the last fortnight, over 60%. So no issues with stable form. This horse is ground versatile as well, Dave. I mean, he's won on soft ground, heavy ground, and quick ground. 6-1 is more than fair, I thought. And I think you're in agreement.
I am in agreement with you, absolutely. I think he fits the bill, but I'll be very interested in seeing the final declarations and see what gets in and what is going to be scratched out of the National on Monday. Once again,
just to mention, Dave, just on this horse, Haiti Couleurs, I mean, he's 8 years of age and he's only had 10 racecourse starts in his career. So he's really, I suppose, lightly raced as well for his age, and 3 from 4 over fences. Just keeps improving.
Absolutely. And I was just going to say 8 extra places with Boylesports, 6 places this weekend, and of course money back second to the SP favourite on all races as well. Don't forget, we want your top 3 selections for the National on Monday. Get them in the comment section below, and there'll be a winner announced for 2 tickets to the National coming your way on the lastminute.com winner announced before Monday's Grand National. And of course, we'll be previewing Sunday's race meeting as well for you. Keep an eye out for that in Champ.ie. And as well as that, we'll have a big preview for the day on Monday, Easter Monday, here on Champ.ie. Barry, before we finish up, a big mention to the action going to be taking place down at the bank holiday weekend in Gowran.
Yeah, look, the flat season really kicking in at Gowran Park, and so we had really good action, of course, midweek as well, once again. And yes, the June Bank Holiday, really looking forward to it. Of course, you will see full details up on screens. Monday, the 2nd of June, the Irish EBF Gowran Classic, the richest races run in Gowran Park all season. There'll be Mighty Crack with a real good win of the race last season, trained by Jesse Harrington, ridden to victory by Dusty Foley. Robert Grace as well will have the guitar out as well. He's not originally not too far away from the course as well, so it'll be a real local atmosphere once again. The tent will be hopping after racing, and you can see full details over on GowranPark.ie. So really looking forward to it, Dave. And I suppose the Boylesports Irish Grand National on Monday, it's very important for the viewers once again to get their TriCast down below.
Absolutely, Barry, and we're looking forward to a couple of more shows before the big one on Monday. But thank you for listening and watching the latest edition of Champ.ie, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
From Dundalk to Longchamp, from the Galway races to the Breeders' Cup, Shamrock Thoroughbreds have taken owners all over the world.
Tiger Bell in front, holds them. Late on the scene is Dawn Charger storming home, but Tiger Bell in front and won.
Coming through the centre, Laugh a Minute with a strong challenge on this Laugh a Minute, who goes on to the closing stages to win by a length and a half. Laugh a Minute from Fiscal Roots.
But it's Harry's Bar repelling the late challenge of the stable companion Dream Today, and Harry's Bar makes it 6 course wins.
Check out ShamrockThoroughbreds.com or click the link in the Champ.ie podcast video description to learn more about new racehorse ownership opportunities.